Hola, Kinalita, aka Mahali Selepe, YouTube's favorite auntie. No. Aka Mahali Selepe, the girl that calls for countries home. Welcome to my channel, you girls. Welcome to my channel, you guys. If it's your first time here, thank you for checking out my channel. Subscribe, help my family grow. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you guys. You are the reason I keep doing this. Right, today I have something on my mind. I might start the engine because I'm starting to get hot. But I'm wearing a boob tube, so I might take this off actually. So don't mind me if I do. Okay, let me be quick. Okay, guys. So I don't know how long this one is gonna take. I don't feel like it's gonna take that long. But yeah, I was just wondering, do you guys think that pastors should be counseling us? So I don't know what's involved in the pastor's qualifications. But for me, I've always felt that pastors should counsel us. We should be able to go to your pastor when you have issues, and they should be able to counsel you, whether or not they have studied psychology, anything to do with that. But I don't know what you guys think, because I was just talking to a friend this morning, and he feels strongly that pastors should stay out of, that's what he was saying. Actually, he was even stronger than what I'm saying. They should stay out of something that's outside their payroll or their capacity, basically. Because he says just because you're a pastor doesn't mean you should now take on things that you're not qualified to do. And I felt, I just wondered, is that what people actually think? Because for me, I have been so disappointed that here in the West, pastors don't counsel you. Because we grew up knowing that, in Africa, our African pastors, you tell your pastor your issues, your pastor is there for you. Your pastor prays for you, encourages you, comes to your house to check how you're doing, and I've been so fortunate that here in Perth, my pastors are quite loving and caring, okay? They check on us, they check on, on me, they check on how are you doing, how are things. They're praying for us, but they also, it's not just on a spiritual level where, they're praying for us, but they want to know, how are you actually doing? How are you? And I appreciate that so much. And I'm used to that kind of a thing. Or rather, I've never been that close to my church pastors, like back home, because when I left home, I was 20. That was the last time I lived in Africa. And I'm 40 in 2 months. So pastors were always like, it's like your father, your other, it's like these, how respective we are as Africans. We put them on a pedestal, which is a bit unfair because they're just human, just like us, But that's just how the pastors were. You knew that you call on your pastor when your husband is doing things. You call on your pastor when children are doing things. When you're just struggling to cope, basically, you call on your pastor. Your pastor is there for counsel, advice, prayer, and things like that. But when I was in the UK, I remember when we had issues with Molapo, the pastors were just not having it. Well, I did feel they were being dismissive. I spoke to more than one pastor, and they just said, look, I'm so sorry about what you're going through, but I'm afraid, I'm not qualified to do that, to counsel you or to talk to you guys. Maybe if you check, they give you details of maybe if you contact such and such a place, they can put you through to someone who might be able to help. It hurt, it hurt. It hurt quite a lot that here's a man of God, I'm coming to him, I'm trying to get help. So can someone talk to my husband, please? But he just felt, look, I cannot get involved. I am not qualified. And I think, and I'm not the only one who feels this way, because even here in Perth, there's another lady. She comes to our church, but not my church, but we go to the same church, but she goes in a different location. And she feels that, she felt like she didn't get support from church. She felt like her pastor was dismissive about the issue. And I just felt that probably this is a cultural thing, because white people, they feel your business is your business. Don't get involved. Yeah, I just thought that this is a cultural thing, that white people just feel that, let's not get involved. Or maybe it's because of the culture of suing and stuff. I don't know. But I guess I dealt with it that way by just concluding that culturally they cannot get involved. But I guess it's because I was not close to those people, because like I say right now, the pastors in my church, I feel somewhat close to them, and they're very caring. They check on me. So now talking to my friend this morning, and him being adamant that pastors like things. He didn't put it that way, but he just feels, what are you doing counseling? He says, like, you find these pastors just because you went to school to study ministry, it doesn't give you the right to now come and counsel a couple that has been married, people who are in their 80s, in their 60s. You are just a young boy in his 20s, and you come and counsel this couple just because you're a pastor. Like, what are you doing? You have no experience. You're not married. You've got no idea what's happening. Why are you involved? Can you not just assign the elders, people in your church, congregation, And I thought, wow, I have never thought of it that way. And I was just wondering, like, okay, let me just talk to my people and see, do you guys feel, what do you feel the role of your pastor is in those kinds of things? Like especially marriage, marital issues, and any other really, whether you're struggling with finances, whether you're struggling with your teenagers. Do you feel that pastors shouldn't get involved if they have no experience? Because I feel as part of he's the shepherd. We are the sheep, I mean, our great shepherd is Jesus. But pastors, as a leader of a church, I feel like, I don't know the courses they do. But surely there's some sort of leadership thing that's there, and a course on how to deal with people, how to best minister to people's needs, not just stand on the pulpit and preach. He also brought up another point, that not all pastors are preachers. So just because you're a pastor doesn't mean you should preach. Yeah, it was it was just like a back and forth. I'm like, no, but pastors should do this. Pastors have. He's an Aquarius like me, Aquarian. I don't know if you guys believe in star signs and things like that. But yeah, we're just arguing, because I'm like, no, the pastor, it's his job to look after people. He can't just say no. If he's asked to come counsel you, he can come and listen. At the very least, he can listen, and he can tell you, okay, as you know, I'm not very experienced at this. I will consult my other colleagues who might better help you. Or he can call, an elder or whoever. But we were talking about how sometimes, I was just feeling that, okay, maybe sometimes pastors just don't want to say, look, I've got no idea. I cannot help, because in African culture, like, we're kind. We have Ubuntu, culturally as Africans, we are just innately kind. So you don't want to brush off people. I would imagine, even if you don't know what you're doing, you wouldn't want to not avail yourself. You want to avail yourself so that your church members know that I am here. I may not have the experience, but you can talk to me. I'm a listening ear, because a lot of times you just need to talk. A lot of times, even in counseling, when you go to counseling, you talk. They just sit there and you talk. And many times you come up with your own answers to your problems. You come up with the solutions, because they ask, have you ever looked at this thing this way, this way? Have you ever thought of this way? They sort of guide you, but you are saying, and you then realize what the solution is. So I think that's what the pastors are doing. The pastors are just availing themselves and being there for you to know that, look, as a church, we support you. We are here for you. You can talk to us. But I don't know, guys. He just felt that just leave things. You don't know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, just don't. It's just he was saying but he was saying that they like things. They like people's business. They'll be coming to listen, but they don't even know how to help. But yeah, I beg to differ. As I say, I don't know. What do you guys think that the pastor's role is? What is the role of your pastor when it comes to those kinds of things? Where the pastor knows himself, he knows he is not qualified. He cannot help. He's got no experience. I don't know if I should give an example of what he was telling me. But his point was that, pastors, or the setup of our church is such that pastors have taken the place of our aunties and uncles and grandmas, the people in the families that can or should be advising us when we go through difficult things, especially things that are very controversial, like the things I've spoken about before. Like, if, for example, if your wife doesn't want sex, for 10 years, the thing I mentioned before, where someone had written on my comment section, if your husband for 10 years will not agree to sex, if you talk to your aunt about that, or your grandma, you may find someone knows what to do. Someone has had this kind of experience. But if you talk to a new pastor, someone that is not even married, what are they to do with that? Because these are the things that then end up making the pastor now want to help you themselves with your problem. This is what this guy was saying. So this is what his point was, that pastors, you end up, because as humans, we are so empathetic. Okay, we are so empathetic that a lot of people that fall, I've mentioned the singers before, and people in leadership, people who fall, is because they got touched emotionally by your story, and somehow they became vulnerable to you. Especially stories of the sexual nature, or people that are being abused, getting beaten. You just want to help this woman. You just want to help this guy. You just want to be there for them. You just are touched by their story. And if you're not mature enough, or if you're not careful, or if you're not counseling these people with your spouse, you just develop a soft spot for the person, and you just want to help. And by wanting to help, the heart will deceive you, my brother. The heart will deceive you, my sister. The heart. Next thing you know, you're now attracted to this person. I mean, as far as you knew, you were trying to help them. You were genuinely just here to be a lending ear. You were genuinely just here to be an ear and a shoulder to cry on, in the purest sense. Next thing you know, hey, your body is doing things. Your heart just, hey. So, what should happen? Should pastors be referring people to professionals? Should they be not getting involved at all? Should they just say, look, I did not actually specialize in this kind of thing. I'm not a marriage counselor. I will refer you to a pastor that is. Or These are the numbers of the Christian counselors that we work with, or that we know, that we trust. Is that what should be happening instead of yeah, let me know. I don't know. I do not know, because I love the fact that I love pastors who are involved, who want to help. But that was, I feel also that this was, such a great point that he brought up, yeah. Anywho, let's chat, let's discuss down below. Thank you guys. I love you. Thank you for watching. Love you, but remember that God loves you even more, and that is true. Ciao, ciao. Hella, you watched everything. Thank you so much for watching everything. Now don't forget to subscribe and go back to my other videos and scroll and scroll and scroll and watch everything. There's very good things in here, very good interesting things. You are number one. Number one. Now thank you and take care of yourself.